Right now, baking for better. How a former politician is finding new purpose in his quarantine hobbies and helping you get involved in social justice.
Plus, the protests that wasn't. If officers will continue to be stationed outside the Capitol.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for waking up with us on your Monday. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Celebrating today might have a different meaning for many this year. It's because, well, 2020, that year was a year we faced a lot of racial tensions, similar to those that Dr. King Jr. experienced during his lifetime.
America also bid farewell to civil rights activist and King's friend John Lewis last year. Many will commemorate the federal holiday by participating in a day of service, just like the two men did while they were alive. MLK Jr. Day, celebrated each year on the third Monday in January, became a national celebration back in 1986. It was signed into law by then-President Ronald Reagan. President-elect Joe Biden and his wife plan to volunteer for this National Day of Service. The inaugural committee is promoting volunteering activities across the country. The Bidens are scheduled to help out at a hunger relief organization in Philadelphia.
There are several opportunities here in Madison to do some good for the holiday, including the Madison Community Meal in honor of Dr. King. The Overture Center and Little John's Kitchen are working to help bring folks together today. Participating businesses in the downtown area have been offering shoppers and diners the option to add $5 to their bill over the last week. The money raised from that will go toward free meals that'll be handed out today. Those meals are available from noon to 6. You can get the info on how to register to get a meal and where to pick it up online at visitdowntownmadison.com/MLK. Today you have an opportunity to hear from some of the candidates running for Madison's Common Council. District 6 Alder Brian Benford will host a celebration of BIPOC candidates today for MLK Day. There are at least 21 candidates currently running who are Black, Indigenous, or a person of color. Alder Benford will also hold a conversation with some of those candidates today starting at 2 o'clock. That'll happen on the District 6 Facebook page. He says he hopes the conversation will inspire more people of color to get involved in local government. All candidates featured are running for one of 6 seats currently open on the council.
If you live around Madison, the name Mo Cheeks might ring a bell. Cheeks served on the Madison City Council for 6 years, from 2013 to 2019. This morning, he's back in the headlines for a new quarantine hobby that's turned into much more.
Everybody can do their own little part to make our community a little bit better in their own way.
So like many people, Cheeks took up sourdough bread making during the pandemic. He credits that for keeping him sane, especially during protests for racial justice. On many sleepless nights this past summer, Cheeks would spend hours in the kitchen. 1 loaf turned into 2, then 4, and soon he was baking too much bread. That's when he stumbled across a group called Bakers Against Racism and decided to sell his loaves for a cause.
So this is a good overlap of my sort of like why I'm spending my time making bread. And so I sort of felt like I had found my people.
Cheeks donates all the proceeds from his bread sales to social justice organizations. So far, he's given a couple $1,000s to the ACLU and Black Voters Matter. If you're interested in buying a loaf from Mo, the best way to do that is follow his Instagram account, Baking Mo. That's where he'll announce all sales and he'll share information about a socially distanced pickup.
The Urban League of Greater Madison is celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy with its annual Youth Awards show. Yesterday's virtual Stand for Justice ceremony was sponsored by UW Health and Unity Point Health Meriter. The Urban League CEO, Dr. Ruben Anthony, says 2020 presented the organization with a lot of challenges, including the pandemic's effect on the Black population.
I found myself asking, when will justice ever arrive? People of color have been fighting for this for years, and we haven't got it yet.
Anthony says fighting for justice was a theme for the Urban League over the past year. He says that included efforts to get people out to vote and help people get their jobs back during the pandemic. A full version of yesterday's ceremony can be seen on the Urban League's YouTube channel. 6:03 as we check in with meteorologist Hattie McLean out there this morning. Good morning, Hattie.
Good morning, Chris. On this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we have a pretty quiet forecast coming up. Not a lot of sunshine, though, in the area. More clouds than sun, so that's what you need to know about today. Also, we're talking a bit of a cool down this week, kind of roller coaster temperatures as we go up and down every day this week, so pay close attention to that forecast. And then I am looking ahead to a weekend storm potential that could bring some accumulating snow to parts of Wisconsin. So a lot to get to in this weather forecast. Let's get you up to date with what's happening right now. there are still a few flurries showing up on the radar map, mainly west of Madison. Those flurries, I think, will continue to diminish as they track eastward today. So if you are east of Madison, you don't have as high a chance of seeing some of those flurries this morning. We all should dry out for the afternoon. Snow chances over the next 10 days. We're really focusing on the Sunday-Monday time frame. That's our best chance for some accumulating snow here across southern Wisconsin. There are a few chances for flurries this week, but again, all eyes are on that next potential storm for the weekend. Again, here's a look at future track accumulating snow for the Sunday-Monday time frame. Keep in mind, we're about a week out from this storm system, so these numbers are likely to fluctuate many times, but there's that potential for part of the upper Midwest to get a pretty decent snowstorm this weekend. Here's a closer look at what we have this morning. Temperatures are in the 20s, 26 here in Madison and Watertown. Juno, you're at 25. Janesville, you're down a few degrees now to 27. Temperatures aren't going to go too far today. Look at the amount of cloud cover in the area. And again, you'll see that with those clouds, we'll have nearly steady temperatures through the day. Here's a look at your future track forecast model. Mostly cloudy skies this morning. Heading into the afternoon, just cloudy. No flurries lingering through the afternoon into the evening, though. We should stay dry. Temperatures will climb into the upper 20s in most spots. Heading into tonight, that's when I expect clouds to begin to clear out just a little bit, so that will lead us to a colder start tomorrow morning. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. We have temperatures that will start in the teens tomorrow, right around 12 here in Madison. Our forecast high is just 20, so we'll be significantly cooler tomorrow. We're back into the 30s Wednesday and Thursday, and then cooling down again for the upcoming weekend.
All right, Hattie, thank you. 6:06 right now. I'm Josh Breiter with what's developing this morning. Right now, Juno County officials are looking for a missing 21-year-old man. According to a news release, Garrett Georgeson was last seen early Saturday morning at Randall's Uptown bar in Mauston. Officials say Georgeson was driving a 2018 Chevy Cruze hatchback with a Wisconsin license plate at the time. Anyone with information on his location is asked to contact the Juno County Sheriff's Office.
Much of downtown Madison was on lockdown yesterday as police prepared for armed protests at Wisconsin's capital. That's not what we ended up seeing, though. Police, State Patrol, and the National Guard were all ready for crowds to arrive, but they never did. Madison Interim Police Chief Vic Wall says the reason there was such a response is because of protests the FBI had made them aware of. He says that even though there was no activity, the law enforcement officers might be hanging around for a while.
We're going to continue to monitor what we see in terms of information, intelligence, and sort of what we see happening here on the ground to determine if we need to extend it beyond that.
Wall says unlike responses to protests they saw in May, they didn't want things to catch them by surprise. As for if or when anything will happen in the days to come, he says it's too soon to tell, but they'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Madison police did make an arrest early yesterday morning outside the state capitol. They say 44-year-old Willie Burks drove his car up the exterior stairs of the building. Police say Burks was intoxicated, but he didn't appear to be connected to any of those potential demonstrations. U.S. defense officials say they're worried about the possibility of an insider attack during the inauguration. The FBI is now vetting all 25,000 National Guard troops coming into Washington for the event. Several active duty military, police, or National Guard members were arrested in connection with the Capitol insurrection earlier this month. This massive undertaking now underscores fears that some of the very people assigned to protect the city over the next several days could present a threat to the incoming president.
Federal investigators say that they are filing new charges against an Army reservist for his part in the siege on the nation's capital. Investigators say Timothy Hale Cusinelli has secret-level security clearance and has a long history of posting extremist views online. They say he was described by an informant as being, quote, an avowed white supremacist and Nazi sympathizer. During a phone call with the informant, Hale Cusinelli can be heard saying that he encouraged members of the mob to advance through the Capitol. No word yet if he's been arrested.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi is expected to send the House's impeachment article to the Senate this week. Although she wouldn't publicly say so during a briefing on Friday, sources estimate the earliest this will happen is on Thursday. The Constitution requires the Senate to start an impeachment trial at 1 p.m. the day after the article is received. Senator Chuck Schumer will be taking over as majority leader in the Senate by then.
President-elect Joe Biden plans to sign about a dozen executive orders on his first day in office. Details from incoming Chief of Staff Ron Klain indicate that many will keep campaign promises. Biden plans to have the U.S. rejoin the Paris Climate Accord and to rescind the travel ban on predominantly Muslim countries. He also intends to address the pandemic by halting evictions and student loan payments and mandating masks on federal property. Klain's memo suggests dozens more executive orders will follow after that first day of action.
It is the Battle of the Bays in next week's NFC Championship. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be making their way to Lambeau next week to play the Pack. The Bucs beat Drew Brees and the Saints 30-20 last night, and earlier this season the Bucs did beat the Pack 38-10. Kickoff for the NFC Championship will be at 2 p.m. next Sunday.
Time right now is 6:10 on this Monday morning, a brand new week, and it's a holiday today, so we're not expecting too much with the first warn traffic maps this morning. Right now, we're moving along at those posted speeds and no issues across southern Wisconsin. Zooming into Madison, we have seen a couple of brake lights on East Washington Avenue approaching the Capitol Square area, but your metro area speeds at this time above those speed limits on both the interstate and the Beltline. That's your first warn traffic.
Coming up, ramping up testing, the new way and new protocols for UW-Madison students.
And later, Consumer Reports has some advice on keeping your personal information safe online. Stay with us.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart.
Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
If you've been injured, you know what to do.
Gruber losses. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. Gruber Law Office is one call, that's all. One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
It's time to pack your bags during Steinhoffel's Winter Getaway Sale. Get a 2, 3, or 4-night stay at any of these great hotels. Steinhoffel's has the largest selection of in-stock furniture and mattresses for every budget. And right now, the entire store is 35 to 50% off. Plus, with Steinhoffel's special 60-month financing, your new room has never been more affordable. Get the new furniture your house has been asking for and pack your bags during Steinhoffel's Winter Getaway Sale.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The Lexus NX with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert, and Amazon Alexa compatibility. Standard. Experience the crossover in its most visionary form.
Lease the 2021 NX300 all-wheel drive for $359 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you
to go ahead and smile.
Welcome Welcome back to breaking news at 6:14 this morning. In the last hour, we've learned President-elect Biden will appoint Wisconsin DHS Secretary Designee Andrea as the Health and Human Services Deputy Secretary. The Washington Post reports this morning she's one of 5 women being appointed to fill number 2 spots at key cabinet agencies. Palm will have to be confirmed by the Senate to officially take the role. We're also learning Karen Timberlake, who worked under former Governor Doyle's administration, is tapped to lead Wisconsin's health agency as interim secretary.
Now, today, the U.S. is expected to pass 400,000 deaths from the coronavirus. This week marks 1 year since the virus was first found in the U.S. Johns Hopkins University says in that time, nearly 24 million Americans have contracted the virus. In Wisconsin, DHS and county dashboards show an increase of more than 1,500 new cases in Wisconsin over the past day. The state's 7-day positivity rate is just shy of 25%. That's the lowest mark since mid-October. 1 more person has died, while 26,000 cases remain active.
With UW-Madison students starting spring classes in just a week, COVID testing will be different. All students will now have to get tested twice a week, and with a brand new saliva-based test. That's a big change from the fall, when off-campus students were not required to get the test by the school. The testing method is also a change from the nasal test the school previously used. These new saliva tests will allow the school to test on a much larger scale, though there is a hitch. Maggie Grote is a junior and COVID tester. She says this new test is more sensitive.
You can't chew gum, you can't drink water, you can't eat, smoke, or drink anything at least an hour before the test.
The saliva test could allow UW to administer as many as 10,000 a day. Developers of the test say it also has a way to screen for the COVID-19 variant that was found in Wisconsin just last week.
Starting today, Hy-Vee stores across the country, including the 3 Madison area locations, will offer COVID-19 rapid antibody testing. This test determines if you've been previously infected with the virus. According to a news release, results come in as little as 15 minutes and cost $25. Hattie McLean now is here with a look at your first warn forecast. Hey, Hattie.
Good morning, Chris. Still pretty dark outside, but we are starting to add some minutes to our day, and it's really starting to get noticeable, especially on the end of the day. Take a look at our almanac for the date. Sunset now just a few minutes before 5 p.m. We've added a couple of minutes at the front part of the day. Sunrise now up to 7:24, but still pretty late. Our entire show is still in the dark. Our forecast high is 28 today. That's pretty close to the normal for this time of the year. Take a look at where we start this morning. We're in the 20s, so not terribly cold outside. 26 in Watertown, 24 in the Dells, 23 in Platteville. It's actually one of our cooler spots this morning. Weather track showing you what's happening on satellite and radar combined. A lot of clouds lingering in the area, although a few holes in that cloud cover can be found. There are still some flurries as well. That band of light snow and flurries working its way through southwestern Wisconsin is expected to diminish as it continues to move eastward, but you may see a few flurries west of Madison this morning. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. What you see is what you get. Just cloudy skies today with temperatures holding nearly steady throughout the day. Coming up the next half hour, we'll take a closer look at that temperature trend and what it means this week for southern Wisconsin.
Thanks, Addie. 6:17, some new research shows that election misinformation on social media plunged 73% after companies banned President Trump and his allies. A San Francisco-based analytics firm called Signal Labs calculated that number. It reviewed posts from before the ban and compared them with the posts after the president's removal from Twitter. Election fraud conversations went from 2.5 million mentions to under 700,000. The president and key supporters banned from Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and other platforms. Facebook says it's monitoring for signs of impending violence and instituting some new policies ahead of Inauguration Day. It says repeat offenders won't be able to stream video live through Wednesday. They won't be able to create groups, events, or pages. In a statement Friday, Facebook also says that it's banning new events tied to the U.S. or state capitals. It's reviewing existing inauguration events and removing those that violate its policies. Instagram and Facebook have already taken down content that contains the phrase, "Stop the Steal."
6:18 now as the new year brings hope for a healthier year. What about improving your online health? Stories about identity theft and companies tracking your every move might make you wonder if it's time to tighten things up. Consumer Reports is here to help with some online tips and tricks. Jerry Harris, a small business owner who runs a dog walking service, opened a concerning message from his inbox.
I received an email from Facebook. It basically identified that my account had been locked out.
Jerry learned his business's Facebook page had been compromised after a hacker gained access and changed the login.
The biggest problem, of course, is that I can no longer control my own business Facebook page.
Jerry says he feels helpless, like an outsider looking in on his own business, a feeling millions of people experience every year.
But the good news is there's a lot of easy steps you can take, and the new year is a great opportunity to give yourself a fresh start.
First, CR recommends setting up two-factor authentication, something you might already use with online banking and other more secure sites.
Two-factor authentication is an extra layer of protection, and the idea here is if someone gets a hold of your password, they'll need another piece of information.
Next, guard against phishing. That's where hackers try to get you to give up information about yourself that could help them steal your identity.
Avoid clicking on links in texts or emails, especially if there's something about that message that seems suspicious.
And finally, it's nearly impossible to remember every password, but there's an easy solution. Use a password manager. Consumer Reports' top-rated password managers are 1Password, Keeper, and Bitwarden. As for Jerry Harris, he plans on setting up a new, more secure Facebook page for his dog walking business.
I don't know how they hacked me. I really don't. But reality is, had I put better safeguards in place, it wouldn't have happened.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about the best ways to get outside and have some fun with the family this winter.
And today is the last day you can tell state officials who you want to be next in line to get the COVID vaccine. How to submit your feedback in our next half hour.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
Jugoson buses, now hiring.
Working with Jugoson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Jugoson.com to apply.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain homeownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Looking to update your flooring? Surgenians has you covered. Our experienced salespeople will guide you through the area's largest flooring selection so you can make the best decision. And Surgenians' reliable craftsmen ensure your flooring's installed right. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Gobin Cars is having a huge winter sale. Don't miss out on 2018 and 2019 Chevy Equinoxes starting at $14,995 or $230 per month.
That's right. You can buy a 2018 or 19 Chevy Equinox starting at $14,995 or $230 per month.
Gobin Cars is family owned and operated for over 50 years.
So just hurry in today and ask for my sister, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
Or my brother, Donovan Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
This does not look like a discount sofa.
It's not. Everything I sell is quality furniture, and I give you a discount. Bob's discount.
Interesting. I'll remember this for as long as I live.
Bob, you look so young.
Do you remember?
It's not discount furniture. It's quality furniture at a discount.
Bob's discount.
Get Bob's discount!
Only at Bob's Discount Furniture.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Jugoson buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving. So you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Jugoson.com to apply.
Welcome back at 6:24 this morning. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and this morning I'm sharing mine from over the weekend. We did some snowshoeing on Long Lake near Bloomer, Wisconsin. It was my first time snowshoeing. That's my boyfriend Martin on the right. He got me a set of snowshoes for Christmas in hopes of giving us something a little bit more to do outside this winter so we're not just stuck at home all of the time. Obviously not a lot of snow. It was pretty crunchy with all of the melting and kind of slushy out there, so we had to do it on the lake, but still a really good time. Again, this was my first time snowshoeing, but I do enjoy skating and also skiing. So this got us thinking this morning, what's your favorite winter activity to do? Leah, let's start with you.
Yeah, Josh, I spent the weekend skiing. I was a little embarrassed to see how rusty I was. It's been a couple of years since I've been out on the slopes. I won't tell you how many times I fell down some of the easier slopes. Zach was trying to be as positive as possible, but I think by the end of the day, he was pretty sick of me. Chris, I hear you're a pretty good snowboarder, is that right?
I don't know who told you that.
It's the rumor.
I do. I like their snowboard. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I haven't done it in a while though. I'm looking forward to learning my kids, or teaching my kids how to snowboard and get outside and do some of the fun winter activities here in Wisconsin. I can't wait to do stuff like that.
Ooh, I know Zach tried to teach me snowboarding once and it was not a pretty sight. So good luck teaching the kiddos that. Hattie, what do you like to do?
I love to ice skate. Now, I'm not very good, but I really like to do it. In my mind, I'm super graceful and beautiful as I go around the ponds and the ice rinks, but I don't think the reality is the same as what I'm seeing in my head. Not the best time for ice skating right now. We've had some pretty mild temperatures, but we are going to cool down a little bit this week, so some of those rinks and local ponds should be freezing over nicely. Let's take a look at our view this morning from the WIC-TV sky camera. Cloudy skies in the area again this morning. That's keeping temperatures in the mid-20s this morning as well. So a little bit milder thanks to that cloud cover. Here's our pet walk forecast. Earl in Wisconsin Dells. Earl completely ready for any winter activity. Love that picture. We'll be back right after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Get more for your kitchen now at the Brothers Main Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale. We want you to absolutely love your new kitchen, so you'll get big savings on the latest incredible products from GE and our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. We want you to be 100% satisfied every time. That's why we're the More Store. The Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale with more selection, more savings, and more kitchen. Now at the Brothers Main, your local store for more since 1938.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 200 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really. Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
More epic than scaling Everest. More epic than a front side 720. More epic than a kid eating broccoli. It's the epic sell-off at Denver Mattress. Right now, save big on the original Doctor's Choice lineup, starting at only $569.99. Check out the Summit Firm for only $189.99. Or get a $300 Furniture Row gift certificate when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Shop the epic sell-off today, only at Denver Mattress.
To most people, the idea of fighting is unpleasant. But sometimes to make things right, it's necessary to fight. Some things are worth fighting for. If you or your family has been injured, you'll want a good law firm on your side to make things right again. Since 1930, Habish, & Rotier has recovered more million-dollar results for our clients than any other law firm in Wisconsin. Habish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Still a traffic jam. Just better views. Still your to-do list. Just getting more done. Still packing up. Just a little easier. The Chevy Silverado, making life's journey just better.
Right now, get $4,750 cash allowance on this 2021 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners with an eligible GM credit card get an additional $1,750 total allowance. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. His dream for a better society still rings true today. Now you can honor and learn about his legacy in Dane County.
And the Packers are 1 win away from the Super Bowl, who they'll have to beat to get there.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for waking up with us on this MLK Day. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Much of Madison is still boarded up and on guard ahead of the inauguration. Our team was at the Capitol all day yesterday, where anticipated armed protests never materialized. Our team said they felt that the square was eerily quiet. The FBI had warned officials of the possibility for armed protesters downtown, which is why Interim Madison Police Chief Vic Wall says they ramped up security. Even though nothing happened yesterday, Madison Police will be hanging around for a while. Wall says that he'd rather be overprepared than underprepared. Madison Police did arrest someone at the square yesterday, but they don't think it was connected to any possible demonstrations. Police say Willie Burks was drunk when he drove his car up the stairs of the Capitol building and parked it. It's his third OWI offense.
The FBI is vetting all 25,000 National Guard troops coming to Washington for President-elect Biden's inauguration. It's an extraordinary measure following security concerns stemming from the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol earlier this month. Several active-duty military, police, or National Guard members were arrested in connection with that attack. So far, though, commanders say they've seen no evidence of any threat to the inauguration from its service members, and the vetting process hasn't flagged any issues either. The 500 National Guard soldiers coming from Wisconsin are included in that vetting process. The troops flew out of Milwaukee over the weekend. The soldiers are from the 32nd Red Arrow Infantry Brigade team, the Madison-based 115th Fighter Wing, and the 128th Air Refueling Wing. Our National Guard's going to be tasked with guarding two capitals at once, the nation's and Wisconsin's. Troops will be on call to help if any protests materialize. You'll notice some extra security precautions around town this week as well, like blocked roads leading to the Capitol, no parking around the square, and extra officers patrolling the Capitol building.
I'm Josh Brighter, developing right now at 6:31. Juno County officials are still looking for a missing 21-year-old man this morning. This is Garrett Georgeson. He was last seen early Saturday morning at Randall's Uptown bar in Mauston. Police say he was driving a 2018 Chevy Cruze hatchback with a Wisconsin license plate. Anyone with information on his location should contact the Juno County Sheriff's Office.
The Packers are 1 win away now from the Super Bowl. And we know who the Packers will have to play next weekend to get there, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady and the Bucks, Tom Brady that is, took down Drew Brees and the Saints last night. It was the first playoff game where both quarterbacks were over the age of 40. The Packers had clinched their spot in the NFC title game with a win over the Rams on Saturday. So if you missed going to the game at Lambeau this last weekend, you got a second chance to go to the NFC Championship game. The Packers will sell tickets to season ticket holders who had opted in over the summer. You'll get an email with information on how to get those tickets through Ticketmaster. 6,500 tickets will be available on Wednesday. Last week's tickets sold out in less than a half an hour. The NFC Championship is scheduled for 2 o'clock on Sunday. It's on Fox. If the Packers win, they'll play the winner of the AFC Championship. That game between the reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. The Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes left the game against the Browns, though, after suffering a concussion. Mahomes would have to clear the league's 5-step recovery process before being allowed back on the field. So the team might not have him this Sunday. You can watch that game right here on CBS starting at 5:40.
Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The civil rights icon and pastor had famously dreamed for a better society built on equity and unity. Many in our community are still working toward that goal today. United Way of Dane County is hosting several 90-minute virtual conversations to hear from the community about their unique perspectives and dreams for Dane County. Today's conversations are at 10 this morning and 3:30 this afternoon. If you can't make it, there will be another one tomorrow at 11:30. We'll have a link link for how you can sign up over on channel3000.com.
Making bread has been a popular way that people have been passing time in quarantine. But for Mo Cheeks, it's helped him push for progress. Christina Laurie has this week's Make a Difference story.
Everybody can do their own little part to make our community a little bit better in their own way.
For Mo Cheeks, progress starts with starter.
For me, right now, it's making bread.
Mo's baking 24 loaves of sourdough this week.
Every hour or so, you fold it and help form the gluten shape.
Bread making has become therapy for Mo during the pandemic and protests for racial justice.
Spending my time working with my hands, baking bread, was an important part of my self-care.
On many sleepless nights this summer, Mo would spend hours in the kitchen. One loaf turned into 2, then 4, and soon...
Because I needed a lot of therapy, I guess, I was making too much bread.
He wasn't alone.
So I found this group called Bakers Against Racism.
Across the country, bakers were selling their products, bread, cupcakes, cookies, and donating the proceeds to social justice organizations.
So this is a good overlap of my sort of like why I'm spending my time making bread. And so I sort of felt like I had found my people.
Mo decided to join them and created his own Instagram account, Baking Mo. Every week, he takes orders, bakes loaves, and donates the profits. Through bread making, he's found a new passion, but more than that, his true purpose.
But what we proved to ourselves in 2020 is that America, and for that matter, Madison, is willing to roll up its sleeves and work hard to try to make progress.
Here's how you can help Mo make a difference. Go to Instagram and follow his account at Baking Mo. On Tuesdays, he'll announce a new bread sale, and you just Venmo him $8 to secure your loaf. Once you've done that, Mo will message you his address, and then on Thursday, you'll come out here to his house, and he'll have packages of bread waiting on his front porch stoop. You pick yours up, and please, just make sure you order early because this bread sells out super quickly. I mean, how good does this look, guys?
Yeah, it looks real good, doesn't it? So most proceeds will go to organizations like the ACLU and Black Voters Matter. He's hoping to make a lot more bread and raise some more money this year. So far, he says he can bake about 27 loaves a day because he's restricted by the size of his kitchen. So yeah, get those orders in early. Well, Hattie, we've got some fresh bread, maybe some warm soup to go along with that here to start off your work week.
Sounds fantastic, Chris. I think dinner is planned. Well, let's take a look at the upper air weather pattern. We really haven't had any polar air in the area for quite some time. It hasn't been terribly cold this winter. We are going to see things cool down a little bit this week. Take a look at the gray and white and purple shaded colors. That's the real cold air that's been confined to Canada. But it will sink southward over the next 24 hours, and tomorrow's looking to be a little bit colder than today. The weather pattern, though, shifts up pretty quickly for midweek, and we moderate with those temperatures for Wednesday, even into Thursday morning. But another stronger front on Thursday will bring another blast of Arctic air, and things are expected to cool down as we head towards the end of the week. So here's what it looks like as far as the numbers are concerned. Kind of a roller coaster ride on those temperatures this week. We're up a little bit today and then Wednesday and Thursday, but down near 20 for the other parts of the week. Temperatures will then stay a little bit below normal as we head into next week. Here's a look at weather track this morning. There are quite a few clouds still in the area this morning, but some holes in that cloud cover to the north as well as to the west. We're seeing more significant clearing taking place across Minnesota and Iowa. Some flurries still occurring west of Dane County this morning. They'll dissipate over the next couple of hours. Temperatures are generally in the 20s here, but teens now in the Northwoods where there are clear skies. Here's a closer look at southern Wisconsin. We start in the mid-20s in most locations. Mineral Point and Janesville are the warm spots this morning at 27 degrees. That slight chance for a few flurries, mainly west of Madison this morning. Otherwise, cloudy skies today. As we head towards the lunch hour, temperatures really aren't going to move too far. We're going to hold steady in the mid to upper 20s today. Clouds begin to break up tonight, though, which means that a colder start is expected for Tuesday. We'll be back in the teens tomorrow morning, bottoming out right around 12 degrees, topping just at 20 on Tuesday. A few chances for flurries here and there this week, but my eyes are on the Sunday-Monday time frame, where we could see a potentially larger storm move into the area.
All right. Thank you very much, Hattie. 6:38 now. At this point, we all get a little nervous when a family member or maybe your kids come down with a cough. It is a symptom of COVID, but it could also just be the common cold. Amanda Quintana has some advice from a pediatrician in this week's Time for Kids segment.
The common cold is one of those run-of-the-mill winter illnesses. Just because COVID is surging doesn't mean you should be any more worried about a cold than you'd usually be. But you should still take the precautions and quarantine while waiting for test results to show that, in fact, it is not COVID. But SSM Health pediatrician Dr. Dan Beardmore says you can treat your kid's pain or fever with children's Tylenol or Motrin at home. Don't be too scared if your kid gets a fever.
There's so much fever phobia out there. Fevers are good things. Fevers help our body fight off the virus or fight off the illness. They also let us know when we're sick. So treat the fever, right? Because it doesn't feel good to be 102 Fahrenheit. But if your kid is, maybe you're testing and checking and the kid's at 101, but they otherwise feel fine, you don't need to treat every single fever.
Of course, when one person in your household gets sick, you don't want everyone else to get sick too. Dr. Beardmore says making sure everyone is washing their hands is the #1 way to prevent that. Also, wear your mask when appropriate. Of course, if you're not sure if it's just a cold or COVID, get tested and avoid going to grandma's house or bringing that sickness to anyone who might be at a higher risk of developing dangerous symptoms of COVID-19.
6:40 right now. We continue to track updates to breaking news this morning. President-elect Joe Biden will appoint Wisconsin DHS Secretary Designee Andrea Palm as the Health and Human Services Deputy Secretary. She'll be leaving the DHS on Wednesday to fill the role. Palm is one of 5 women being appointed to fill #2 spots at key cabinet agencies. She will have to be confirmed by the Senate to officially take the role. She previously served as the senior counselor to the Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Obama. And within the last 20 minutes, we've learned Karen Timberlake will serve as Wisconsin DHS interim secretary. Timberlake served as DHS secretary under former Governor Jim Doyle during the 2009 H1N1 pandemic. She'll officially start 1 week from today.
Today is your last chance to tell state leaders who you think should be next in line to get the COVID vaccine. An advisory committee is currently recommending seniors, people in group homes, non-EMS first responders, teachers, and non-frontline healthcare workers be included in Phase 1B. None of that is official yet. The advisory committee will send its recommendations to the DHS and Governor Evers for a final decision. The public comment period closes at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have information on how to submit your thoughts up on our website, channel3000.com.
6:41 on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and for that, the roads looking very quiet this morning as we take a look at the first warn traffic maps across Dane and Rock counties. We're not seeing many issues out there. Smooth sailing across much of southern Wisconsin at this hour. A couple of slowdowns you can see on Highway 51 just north of Janesville, but nothing that's going to impact you too much as we take a look at your drive times. Let's take a live look outside right now. 6:42 on the nose as we kick off this new week. Are we going to break away from the clouds, and when can we see some sunshine? Well, Hattie will have all the details coming up.
And a live look now at the White House, where President Trump will spend his second to last full day in office. He's planning a round of 100 new pardons before the end of his term. We'll have more on those coming up in the morning sprint.
To most people, the idea of fighting is unpleasant. But sometimes to make things right, it's necessary to fight. Some things are worth fighting for. If you or your family has been injured, you'll want a good law firm on your side to make things right again. Since 1930, Habish, & Rotier has recovered more million-dollar results for our clients than any other law firm in Wisconsin. Habish, & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
At GHC, we want you to be safer at home. We have more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
Dear all-wheel drive, I'm your new co-pilot, Camry. Let's show the road what we've got. Snowy streets, we're coming for you. Icy grip, we're holding tight. Wintry mix, meh. Safety's the name of our game. Steady, Camry all-wheel drive.
Right now, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Toyota Camry.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The modern farmhouse look is here to stay, and we have it for less at Slumberland Furniture. Start out with neutrals. Use a beige or light gray sofa as your base to build on. Next, mix and match metals and wood. Try adding contrast by using light with dark. Finally, add home-style pillows and unique farmhouse accessories. Play around and have fun. Get your current look for less at Slumberland Furniture.
My husband's parents were visiting, and I promised them a home-cooked meal, except my boss had a different idea. He tells me, hold your horses. I call my husband, and I say, I'm slammed, and he's like, Quick Trip, and I'm like, bingo. At Quick Trip, I say, what's good tonight? And the Quick Trip guy is like, everything, but I go for the hand-breaded fried chicken, and I go, make that ×4. Being none the wiser, my mother-in-law is like, I always said she's a keeper. I'll run with that.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
We're not going to get back to normal in the immediate future. I think this is one of those things that's kind of fun to think about.
Coronavirus altered our reality with a new normal of staying home, wearing masks, and socially distancing. But as the vaccine rolls out in Wisconsin, when could life start to return to what it once was? Tuesday at 10. You make plans. What to wear, where to go, when to go, what to bring. And then the weather changes everything. Let News 3 Now First Warn Weather prepare you for what's coming. First, fast, and accurately, so you can plan your life.
Welcome back. 6:45. You can travel the country and get paid for it, as long as you're fine driving a Wienermobile, that is. Kraft Heinz looking for a new team of hot doggers to drive the 27-foot orange and yellow vehicle across the country. If they hire you, you'll stop at more than 200 events, create social media content, and do interviews. The company says it's looking for outgoing college grads with a love of adventure. I looked up some of the requirements here. You need 40 hours of training at Hot Dog High to be able to drive this puppy. And if you're just along for the ride, you have to sit shotgun. You like that? You like that? Josh, I could see you driving this guy, but I am not sitting shotgun with you behind the wheel.
Have you guys ever been in one of these before? I had a chance at a previous TV station I worked for to get a tour, and it's like you're taking a trip back to the 80s and 90s with like red carpet and the red leather and like the whole shebang. It's quite the sight.
We've aired some video of the insides of these puppies, and they're a little rough there, Chris.
I remember that. I remember, yeah, it was in need of an overhaul for sure. That's good stuff. I don't know. You think work could let me take a leave of absence, spend the summer driving around the country in the Wienermobile?
Chris Stanford in the Wienermobile? That sounds like television gold.
Let's make it happen.
I think they would let you. Yeah, yeah. Hattie McLean, any interest in getting behind the wheel?
I'd ride shotgun, no problem. I just don't want to drive that thing. It looks a little big for me to navigate the roads, but sign me up. Looks like a fun way to spend a summer. We definitely don't have summer-like conditions right now. We have temperatures that are in the mid-20s this morning. A little bit of light snow showing up on the radar map as well, so keep that in mind. Areas mainly west of Madison seeing some flurries. Otherwise, temperatures holding pretty steady today in the mid to upper 20s through the afternoon.
All right, thanks, Hattie. Stick around. The morning sprint is next.
But first, it's January 18th, and we want to say happy birthday to Mikey and all the kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
With Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields online. For a limited time, we'll waive your enrollment fee. See what your career can turn into. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
McGann Furniture in Baraboo has a question for you. Have you ever bought a piece of furniture in a box and then had to put it together yourself? We know it's not fun. At McGann's, everything is professionally inspected and assembled before pickup or delivery. Goodbye headaches, and there's no extra charge for assembly. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in soon and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy. no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
How you sleep sets your entire life in motion. So live your best life by getting your best sleep on a Doctor's Choice mattress. The perfect combination of support and comfort. In fact, I've been recommending it to my patients for over 20 years.
Visit us in-store or online and discover all the benefits of Doctor's Choice, only at Denver Mattress.
Do you take daily prescription pain medications, but they don't help enough? Do you want more options to better manage chronic pain? University of Wisconsin-Madison STAMP study offers free, safe, therapeutic programs to address chronic pain. The programs occur once a week for 8 weeks and pays up to $340. Call 608-212-6902 today. Again, that's 608-212-6902.
The forecast calls for a messy commute. The Ford lineup helps keep you in command. Intelligent four-wheel drive monitors traction, and a terrain management system adapts to road conditions at the turn of a knob, so you're ready to take on the elements with confidence. Power through the storm in a new Ford Explorer, now with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,250 bonus cash. See your Wisconsin dealer today.
Wipe the slate clean for 2020 and start on a lasting career at Herzing University. We'll even waive your enrollment fee. A new year, a new career. It's possible. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
It is 6:50, time for the morning sprint. Developing right now, Juno County officials are searching for a missing 21-year-old man. Garrett Georgeson was last seen early Saturday morning at Randall's Uptown bar in Mauston. Police say he was driving a 2018 Chevy Cruze hatchback with a Wisconsin license plate. If you have any information on his location, contact the Juno County Sheriff's Office.
The FBI is vetting all 25,000 National Guard troops coming to Washington for President-elect Biden's inauguration. Several active duty military, police, or National Guard members have been arrested in connection to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. So far, though, commanders say they've seen no evidence of any threat to the inauguration from their service members.
The 500 National Guard soldiers from Wisconsin are included in that vetting process. The troops flew out of Milwaukee over the weekend. Soldiers are from the 32nd Red Arrow Infantry Brigade Combat Team, the Madison-based 115th Fighter Wing, and the 128th Air Refueling Wing.
The Wisconsin National Guard is tasked with guarding two capitals at once, the nation's and Wisconsin's. Troops will be on call to help if any protests materialize. You'll also notice some extra security precautions around town this week, like blocked roads leading to the Capitol, no parking around the square, and extra officers patrolling the building.
Breaking overnight, the FBI is investigating evidence that a woman who entered the U.S. Capitol earlier this month planned to sell stolen data to Russia. That's according to a new Politico report. According to an affidavit, a witness says they saw a video of Riley June Williams taking a laptop or hard drive from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office. It's unclear if the FBI had arrested her or whether the laptop or hard drive had actually been stolen. For now, Williams faces charges for entering the Capitol and for disorderly conduct.
President Trump plans to issue about 100 pardons and commutations on his last day in office. He'll reportedly pardon white-collar criminals, high-profile rappers, and others tomorrow. For now, President Trump is not expected to grant himself a pardon. The White House held a meeting yesterday to finalize the list. It'll be the last batch of pardons unless the president decides to pardon controversial allies, family members, or himself.
Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and you can honor his legacy locally. UW-Madison and the King Coalition are hosting a virtual holiday observance. Princeton professor and African-American studies scholar Eddie Glaude Jr. will be this year's keynote speaker. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and County Executive Joe Parisi will also present the MLK Humanitarian Award. That event is free. It starts at 6 tonight.
Some local organizations are working together for a community meal in honor of the holiday. Little John's Restaurant, the Overture Center in Madison's Central Business Improvement District, will serve meals for $5. You can pick up your soul food in a drive-thru or with curbside pickup. meal pickup times and other ways to pay it forward are up on Little John's website.
Breaking news this morning, President-elect Joe Biden will appoint DHS Secretary Designee Andrea as the Health and Human Services Deputy Secretary. She's one of 5 women being appointed to fill #2 spots at key cabinet agencies. Palm will have to be confirmed by the Senate to officially take the role.
And within the last half hour, we've learned Karen Timberlake will serve as DHS Interim Secretary. Timberlake served as DHS Secretary under former Governor Jim Doyle during the 2009 H1N1 pandemic. She'll officially start a week from today.
You're going to want to check your freezers. More than 760,000 pounds of Hot Pockets have been recalled. There are concerns they could contain pieces of glass and hard plastic. Parent company Nestle says it has received complaints about contaminated materials being inside those frozen sandwiches. Any Hot Pockets produced or shipped in November are part of that recall.
Tax season will start a little later this year. The IRS will begin accepting tax returns starting February 12th. The usual start date is in January. The delay will allow the IRS to test its systems after Congress passed a second round of stimulus payments late last month. Some people who missed the 2 payments last year will still be able to claim them through their tax file.
The jackpot still growing this morning after another round without a winner. Tomorrow's Mega Millions drawing right around $850 million. That's the 3rd largest of all time. Wednesday's Powerball is $730 million, which is the 5th largest. Neither has been this big since at least 2019, when a Wisconsin man won a $768 million Powerball.
The Packers are 1 win away from the Super Bowl. They'll have to beat the Buccaneers to get there. Tom Brady and the Bucs took down Drew Brees and the Saints last night. It was the first playoff game ever where both quarterbacks were over the age of 40. The Packers clinched their spot in the NFC title game with a win over the Rams on Saturday.
Almost 6:56 right now. If you're hitting the road this morning on this holiday, we're not seeing any major issues out there. No crashes to report. Just a couple of slowdowns along East Washington Avenue. That's your First One traffic.
And a look at your News 3 Now First Warn forecast this morning. We have cloudy skies early today. Temperatures are going to hold steady in the mid-20s throughout the day, topping just around 28 later on this afternoon. A few flurries this morning, but we should begin to dry out for the second part of the day. Here's a look at that extended forecast. We're cooler tomorrow with highs right around 20 degrees. There is a chance for some flurries in the afternoon, mainly southwest of Madison, back into the 30s for the middle of the week.
Thank you very much, Hattie, and thanks for joining us on your MLK Junior Day. Folks, have a great Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.